21. In the hands of evil. Claudia. When Antonio didn't come, I raced away after hearing voices approaching. I stumbled into the last person I thought I would.
Miss Bell?
I threw a fist at him. He ducked my swing and grabbed at my hands to stop me. "Let me go!" I screamed, struggling to free myself.
Miss Bell, calm down. Claudia, listen. I'm not going to hurt you.
I kicked him in the shins.
Ouch! Will you wait a minute? I'm not going to hurt you. Trust me.
Trust you? He released me, and I pulled away, glaring back at him as he rubbed the side of his leg. He collapsed against the locker wall. I looked around, waiting to see Dr. Nicholson come out. I was surprised when he didn't appear. He noticed me nervously looking about.
I'm alone, Joseph said. It's just me.
Readying myself, I lifted my fists in defense. I didn't trust him.
Don't.
Joseph put up his hands.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. Come on. Are you okay?
Was he seriously asking me that now? What do you care? I snapped.
Okay, I guess I deserved that, but I care a lot, especially about you and John, he insisted. Please, listen. I want to help you.
He wanted to help me? I didn't believe it. Help! This is your entire fault! How can I ever trust you again? You betrayed us! You betrayed John! I angrily responded. At the announcement of those words, Joseph's head dropped. Surprised by his reaction, I only stared blankly at him. He was usually a strong and arrogant man, one that I figured could not be hurt by mere words. It looked like quite the opposite was true. At one point he had held a gun, pointing it at me, without a trace of emotion. Yet I immediately felt bad that my words had such a great impact on him. I wanted to apologize, but I was so angry with him. He had betrayed our trust. He had betrayed me. He had let that man kill me.
I know. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I'm sorry. Following orders is all I know. But things are different. They became different. They've changed. I've changed.
Speechless momentarily, I stared at him. I didn't understand.
Things happen. People change. I'm tired, he admitted. I'm tired of being alone. John was the only friend I ever had, and now I've fucked it all up. He hates me, and with every right. I want to make things right again. I want to do that by protecting you, and returning you to him. John deserves that. You deserve that, Claudia.
He huffed and stood up straighter.
You're the best thing for him. I knew that, but I went against my better judgment, because of the job.
Unable to speak, I didn't know what to say.
Please, forgive me. I only wanted to keep him safe. I honestly didn't think he would kill you. I guess I'm an idiot for believing it. I should have known better. The past repeats itself,
Joseph said, rubbing his neck. He glanced at me. I didn't understand what he meant by that. Maybe he had made the same mistake in his past.
You'd think I would have learned from Augustine. Shit, he mumbled quietly.
I didn't know who he was talking about, but it didn't matter. It wasn't like I could read his mind. He still wore that watch. He looked pathetic, completely unlike himself. He lowered his head and put his face in his hands. I inhaled and moved over to him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Joseph," I whispered. He looked up and was surprised to find me facing him. I smiled and wrapped my arms around him. It was strange how immediately he returned the embrace and held me tightly.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It surprised me to feel such a big man quivering in my embrace. "Can you take me to John?"
"Of course. Anything you want, sweetheart."
He put his hand on my chin.
"I promise you, things are gonna be different. We'll find John, and we'll get you out of here together. I need to protect you, the both of you. I won't let Dr. Nicholson get his hands on you, not this time." He grinned.
I didn't know what to say, staring up at him.
"That's a promise, Miss Bell. You just got yourself your own guardian."
Blushing, I laughed back.
John wasn't kidding about the whole Wookiee thing. You saved me, and well, I'm returning the favor, and then some.
"Joseph," I huffed, pressing my lips. "Just take me to John and we can call it even."
"No, I'm doing more than that."
Joseph laughed, but then he froze, looking about as though he had heard something. He held out a hand to stop me. "What's wrong?"
"Stay behind me,"
Joseph ordered, and took out a gun. I moved back to watch as he readied himself. He pointed his weapon in the direction we heard steps approach from. He pushed me against the lockers, using himself to shield me. The footsteps rushed against the marble. Joseph reached out and grabbed the figure from around the corner. He threw him back and pointed his weapon. When he realized it was Dr. Spencer, he lowered his gun. "Please don't shoot!" He cowered under Joseph's heated glare. "Dr. Spencer?" I said, approaching, a little surprised and a little confused. Only aware he had been there, briefly, when he had come between me and the gun back in the main office. He had tried to save me. "Claudia?" He straightened and blinked at us. Immediately, he wrapped his arms around me. I wasn't prepared, but it delighted me to have so many people care I was okay. He held me tightly, reminding me of the big bear hugs I received as a child. When he wouldn't let me go, Joseph pulled him back.
"All right, that's enough. You don't need to strangle the girl, Doctor."
"Sorry." He moved back, but cupped my face as he examined me from head to toe. I gave a puzzled glance and looked back at Joseph. He looked like he would burst out laughing, but he shrugged his shoulders instead. "You're all right. Not a single scratch. My God!" He was glowing with excitement. He surprised me when he hugged me again. I just smiled. "I'm sorry," Aaron whispered. "For what?" Out of everyone, he was the only one other than John who didn't owe me an apology. He quivered in my arms. "I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything to stop what happened to you." I pulled him back and looked at him. "That wasn't your fault, Dr. Spencer." "Aaron," he said. "Call me Aaron. We've been through a lot together. We should be on a first-name basis." "I like that." I grinned. "Aaron, you had nothing to do with what happened, okay?" His dark brown eyes pooled with tears. I wiped at his face, hoping to comfort him.
"Yeah, that was all the man you call a boyfriend," Joseph rudely said from behind me.
"Joseph, don't," I demanded. He quieted down and uttered an apology. "You tried to help me. That's all that matters," I said to Aaron. He grabbed a hold of my hand and gripped it tightly. There was a warmth in his soul, filled with peace, and I could sense it. He felt closer to me with those words. Our touch connected us. "I need to find John," I said. He blinked as if the very name brought some faded memory back. In fact, I saw it in his head. John was in Quentin's grip. "He grabbed him?" He seemed surprised for a moment by what I had said, not connecting how I knew, but continued and said, "We got separated. That thing grabbed him," Aaron explained. "He saved me." "We have to find him. Aaron, you think you can take us back to that spot where you last saw him?"
"I don't think that's a good idea, Miss Bell," Joseph voiced.
"Joseph." I glanced back at him as he neared. "I need to find John. You said you would help me." He exhaled, wanting to argue with me. I could see it in his eyes. His mouth parted slightly as if he would protest, but instead nodded.
"We should really head out. I don't like the idea of standing out in the open," Joseph said as he looked nervously around.
"Then let me help you. We should go this way," Aaron said. Joseph glanced back. He didn't trust Aaron. He hesitated. "Joseph?" I called to him. Joseph stopped me and motioned me to wait. He moved over near the courtyard entrance and looked out.
"We should go upstairs and head back around. The courtyard is crawling with activity. We should come around, just to be cautious."
He pointed in the other direction, up the third-floor stairwell. "I really think this way is the best way," Aaron said, moving around the corner as I turned back to tell him to wait. I heard him gasp just before Dr. Nicholson appeared, standing there holding Aaron by the shoulder. There was a gun in his hand and a slim smile upon his peachy face.
"Aw, shit," Joseph whispered.
"Hello again, my lovely." His voice was so pleasant. There was a difference in the way he regarded me now. A creepy smile displayed upon his face as his dead, cold, icy blue eyes focused and stared clearly on me. Joseph approached, but the gun in Dr. Nicholson's hand was pointed at us both. Joseph froze, not before lifting his own gun up.
"Where is John?"
He narrowed his eyes over at Joseph.
"I don't know. John does what John does. He hates me either way, sir."
He lied.
"Of course."
Dr. Nicholson focused his eyes over at me. "He will come for you, though." "Bring her to me," he ordered Joseph. Joseph didn't move to follow orders. Instead, he came to block him, positioning me behind him.
"No,"
he defied. "I said, bring her," Dr. Nicholson ordered again. He held onto Aaron with the gun drawn and pointed it at us.
"With all due respect, sir, fuck you."
Joseph held his ground and kept me back. An eerie chuckle escaped Dr. Nicholson's mouth. It startled us both. I couldn't let him hurt Aaron. After what I had seen in Aaron's mind, knowing he'd knelt down on the ground trying to save me, I couldn't. Aaron was a kind person, and he didn't deserve this. This man didn't deserve Aaron. "Come along, my darling," Dr. Nicholson said to me when Joseph refused to comply. Staring over at him, I shook my head back. Did he honestly think I would simply walk away with him? I remained behind Joseph. "Come on, darling, don't be upset. Forgive me. Let's start over again." I fidgeted in place, my mouth dropping into a gape. Joseph firmly stood between us.
"She said no,"
Joseph growled, narrowing his eyes at Dr. Nicholson. Dr. Nicholson laughed again, startling us. Joseph hadn't fazed him. "I understand your wariness of me. I know what you must be feeling right now. I'll make all those feelings disappear. Come with me, and this time, I promise no harm will come to you." His slim lips curved up slightly. His words alone sent chills up my spine when they coupled with that evil grin. "Rest assured, this time I won't let anything come between us."
"I'm coming between you. I'm not letting her go with you anywhere, sir," Joseph firmly stated.
I directed my stare and words over at Dr. Nicholson. "You ordered Joseph to hurt me. You shot at me. You actually expect me to believe or trust you?" "Bryce, please don't. Just leave her alone. You're not this person. You don't mean to hurt her. Please." Dr. Nicholson gazed at Aaron and stroked his cheek. "Aaron, my love, you mean everything to me. I love you. But you can't begin to imagine my delight and the triumph I felt in discovering such a specimen." "She's not a specimen. She's a girl, Bryce. A girl. An innocent girl. Please let her be." He smiled as he leaned over and kissed Aaron. I watched them for a moment. Joseph seemed to be just as cautious as I was. He continued to block the man from me. "Shh, shh, shh. There, my love. It will soon be over. I don't plan to harm her, but I do need her, and she will be mine. So, you must forgive me for what I am about to do." "Bryce, please. You're not this person." "Be silent." Aaron looked worried. Dr. Nicholson grinned back and pointed the gun to Aaron's head.
"Should I shoot him?"
He so calmly said, it surprised me that he would hurt someone he claimed he loved. Aaron stirred. Confusion consumed the youthful creases of his face.
"Shoot him. I don't care," Joseph said. "She's not going anywhere with you."
"What? No!" I gasped at Joseph's words.
"He's not going to do it, Miss Bell." Joseph laughed.
"Bryce, don't, please." Aaron was begging the man he loved not to hurt him. It was heartbreaking. Dr. Nicholson caressed Aaron's cheek and kissed his face tenderly.
There, my love."
He stared back over with a smile on his face.
"Let us see if Miss Bell feels the same way. Shall we, Joseph?"
"He won't do it. He wouldn't," Joseph said to me. However, there was a little doubt in his eyes that scared me. The gun clicked. Dr. Nicholson smirked back over, challenging Joseph's very words. "Don't!" I yelled. "Please don't!" Dr. Nicholson gave me a wide smile. He already knew what my choice would be. I wouldn't sacrifice another to save my own life.
"So, what will it be? His life or yours?"
"Bryce, why?" Aaron whimpered.
"Quiet, my love. The lady is thinking."
"Claudia," Aaron shook his head at me. "Don't do it! Run! Please!" Dr. Nicholson shook him angrily.
"Aaron, if you say another word and cost me the girl—"
"What? You'll kill me?" Aaron angrily snapped. Dr. Nicholson chuckled.
"Miss Bell, I'm waiting."
I took a step. Joseph put his arm out to stop me from moving forward.
"Miss Bell, think about this. He's a liar. He won't kill him."
I nervously considered Joseph's words, looking up at him, then over at Aaron, and finally, Dr. Nicholson. Dr. Nicholson simply lifted a finger and motioned me over to him. There was a clever little smile on his lips. I knew what I had to do in order to save Aaron. I moved forward. Joseph stopped me once more. I glanced up at him.
"Don't,"
he pleaded softly. "I have to."
"I can't let you. I have to make this right. If you go with him, it will destroy John."
I glanced back over at Aaron. He was struggling in Dr. Nicholson's grip.
"Come now, Miss Bell. We're waiting."
He beamed, holding Aaron still. "He'll understand why I did it," I said, turning back to Joseph, ignoring Dr. Nicholson.
"Let me make it easier,"
Dr. Nicholson said, slightly annoyed. We turned to look at him as he extended the gun and fired a single shot. A cry escaped my throat as the bullet struck Joseph in the chest. Joseph gasped, dropping his own gun. He moaned as he grabbed at his chest. A rush of blood pooled behind his palm from the open wound.
"Ah, shit,"
he groaned as he dropped to his knees. "Joseph! No!" I glanced back at Dr. Nicholson. He motioned me over to him.
"Come along, my darling. It is time to go,"
he invited with a grin, taking a few steps forward. "Why? You didn't have to shoot him."
"There have been a lot of things I didn't have to do, my lovely. However, they were necessary."
Biting down on my lip, I tasted blood. Joseph fell forward. I struggled to roll him over. His eyes began to pool as he struggled to breathe. With each gasp, blood spilled from his mouth. I stroked his cheek, pushing back at the disarrayed dark strands of hair.
"I just wanted to make things right for you and John. Tell him I tried," he whispered. "Press hard on the wound if you want to save him, Miss Bell,"
Dr. Nicholson mocked from behind. There was laughter in his tone. "Bryce, let me go! Let me help!" Aaron pleaded.
"Nothing can help him now, my love."
I glanced back at Dr. Nicholson, catching sight of Aaron's look of disbelief. He wanted to help Joseph. He tried to move at one point, but Dr. Nicholson wouldn't let him go. "Stop! Don't say that! Joseph, you will tell him yourself," I said, putting a hand on the wound, and began to press down, as I'd been instructed. "Make it stop," I ordered. "Make it stop, please."
"It's no use, my dear. I'm fucked,"
Joseph gasped and cringed in pain.
"Shit."
"No, I'm not giving up." My hands were soaked in his blood. Beneath the bleeding, my palms began glowing, and a glitter of light emerged, spreading from within my hand. The light consumed his wound. I didn't know what was happening, but I kept pressing. Joseph's eyes fluttered, then finally closed, and I felt no movement. He went still suddenly. "Joseph?" I gasped. "No! Joseph? No!" A pinch nicked me on the side of the neck before I spun back to give Dr. Nicholson a piece of my mind. Aaron's voice called to me. Just before I blacked out, I saw Dr. Nicholson kneeling over me, syringe in hand.